Alright, so I've got my Silverado in the garage today, doing some work on the axle. As you can see, there's a bunch of grease being thrown up. That's coming from the axles, the CV axle. That's where our problem is. We've got a torn boot. It's just throwing grease everywhere. So this truck does have a 6-inch lift on it. So it does have has a front axle drop and longer knuckles on it. Not running too much angle there on the CVs, but there is a little bit of angle with this drop knuckle and dropped front end. It does require me to run a front spacer, and so that is specifically because on a 6-inch lift, typically they all push the knuckles out, usually about an inch, inch and a half. So that's where that spacer comes into play. I'm actually going to be upgrading these axles. I'm putting some axles off of a 08 to 2013 Chevy truck. They end up being about the exact same length, so it makes this angle, approach angle, it makes it a little bit less. So that's going to be today's project. So now we're going to come to the upgraded axle, which is the one on the bottom here. As you can see, they're the exact same length. The only difference is the one on the top, it has a spacer. So the axle starts, and then you've got that aluminum spacer in there, whereas the new axle, it's a little bit longer. So with it being longer, what that's going to do is it's going to give us less of an angle on the CV axles because your two pivot points are spaced further out. So that center shaft is longer. And what this is this is just a factory part number. So this is made by Cardone. It's a 1430 HD part number. You can pick these up pretty much anywhere. Like I said, they're off of a 2008 all the way up until I believe 2014 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, any of the four-wheel drive trucks. This is the CV axles that they came with. You can find these at the junkyard pretty easily as well. All right, so axles in. As you can see, I'll put a before and after, but much less angle there. Now we go epic fail time, which is I did not account for needing shorter bolts. So I got one that I just had laying around, happened to be the same thread pitch. All the other ones way too long, not gonna work. So at this point, I'm kind of done for the night. I'm gonna go in the morning, go get some hardware, and be done with this. Always try to think about stuff like this before starting the project. I wish I would have, but at this point, it is what it is. I'll get it fixed, and you know, at least I'll know for the other side. So it's a new morning. I went ahead and got some hardware. So I did get all of those put on and torqued down to 58 foot-pounds. I did put some blue Loctite on those as well. As you can see, the axle's now installed. This is the hardware that I used. I got it at Lowe's. It's an M10 by 150 by 30, and I put a flat washer on there as well. And yeah, so this side's all done and installed. I'll do some before and after shots, but this is the driver's side. I did end up having to pull the sway bars out on the other side, so I'm gonna do the same on this side. It just made it a little bit easier with the longer axle when it was going in. Taking them out on the short axles is pretty easy to get them out without removing the sway bar, but putting in the new ones back in were a little bit of a pain, so easy enough, just pull out it would be this guy right here, your sway bar link. Just go ahead and pull that out. Makes life a lot easier if you're doing this project. All right, so this is gonna be day 2. This is the passenger side. Got a 36mm socket on there. You can take this off with a breaker bar. I've got a little impact gun here, so it'll make quick work of this. All right, so now that I got that nut off, sometimes the splines in here just get stuck from just, you know, time getting rusted up in there. So if it does, you could just put a punch right here in that center, kind of knock it out. I'm gonna go take out the interior bolts, and then from there I'll see if it comes out. If not, I'll hit it out with the hammer. All right, so now I've got all those bolts out. I'm just gonna reach in here. Hopefully I'm not blocking the camera there. And pretty much just pull this thing straight down. axles out. All right, so now I just got to get the spacer out. That's in there specifically because of the knuckle lift. That's hub centric as well, so these can get stuck sometimes too. Yeah, mine's a little bit on there. Sometimes you just got to pry on it or get a little flat bait behind it. But there you go, that came off pretty easy. All right, I got the new axle here. I did put some anti-seize. You really just want it right here on the splines. You don't want to get it on the threads. And like I said, that's more just for future maintenance. If you got to pull these off again, it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to hammer them out. I'm gonna put one of these bolts on so it holds. Got some blue Loctite on there. That should be enough to just hold it in place. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of those on. Just gonna get them hand tight. Snug them up, and then I'll put the axle nut on, torque it down, and then I'll come back and torque these. All right, I've got the passenger side axle in. I got the bolts in there. They're just snug down, as you can see. I did put the sway bar links back on, so under here I do still need to torque those bolts. But I'm gonna go ahead and move to the outside of the truck. So the way I do this bolt, I did put a little bit of blue Loctite on there as well. I'm gonna hit that with the impact, just get it to where it's snug, and then I'll torque that down as well. As you can see, this is definitely worth doing. I don't crank my torsion bars up too much, just because I do have aftermarket keys in there. So if I crank them all the way, it does put these CV axles in some pretty bad angles, which is ultimately what ends up tearing these things up. Yeah, you tear up boots just from having too much angle in them. So here I think these will last a long time. I do still have the old axles. As you can see, this thing was really torn up. You can probably see it better on this one, just how bad that boot actually was. It was completely split open, all the grease come out of it. You could see the parts in there starting to wear out. But they were working, so I think I caught it at a good time. I do plan on just taking these boots off, cleaning out the inside, repairing anything that needs repaired, putting new boots on, fresh grease, and then just keeping these as backups. We have a couple of these trucks in the family, so it'd be good to have a couple of spares. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If there is anything else you'd like to see on it, just please comment. Let me know what you guys want to see. I can do some more videos like this. Just plan on doing videos of stuff I'm working on. But if there's stuff you guys want to see, just let me know. Drop it in the comments.